Well, Marvel's put out some good movies and Marvel's put out some really crap movies. So I'm see where Shang-Chi falls. So Shang-Chi is the most recent Marvel film directed by Destin Cretton. Really sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. And it follows Shang, one of the most deadliest trained fighters in the world, getting drawn back into his father's Ten Rings organization after 10 years. Now, this movie has been out for a while, so this is going to be a solid spoiler review. Usually, I do spoiler free if if the movie just came out or is maybe like a day or two old. But it has been out for a while, so this is going to be a spoiler filled review. So, solid spoiler warning. If you have not seen it yet, I suggest you go see the movie, then come back. Alright, well, you've been warned. Let's get into it. I know that Shang is pronounced Shung. It's like after I say something for so long, the way I say it just gets stuck in my head. So I apologize to all the people that prefer it pronounced Shang-Chi, but I'm going to keep saying Shang. That's just to make it easier on me. My apologies. So Shang's dad, the Mandarin, who's been alive for I don't know how many years, I think about 1,000 years, thanks to the power of the Ten Rings, has been a conqueror for most of his life until he met Shang's mother, the only person that was able to beat him in battle. I just saw the movie and I only saw it once, so I forgot how exactly Shang-Chi's mother got her power, but it had something to do with the place where the Mandarin met her. And once she left that place, her power was gone, is what I believe, how it was explained. So anyway, the Mandarin ended up falling in love with her, not only for her power, but for her beauty. And together they had 2 kids, Shang-Chi and his little sister, whose name I also forgot. I'm so sorry, only saw it once. And like good parents, both of them gave up their respective powers to, be parents, be good parents to their children. And that was a really heartwarming part of the movie. But a group of gangsters that the Mandarin had tried to destroy earlier on when he still was, the Mandarin, came back to get their revenge on him. But unfortunately, he wasn't there. His wife and 2 kids were, and the mother, doing what any good mother would do, protected her children and, fought them off for as long as she could. But they ended up killing her. So, the Mandarin took Shang and he went and found the gang and killed them. And the one person that killed their mother is the one that escaped. So, he told his son, or sent his son on a mission after, years of training him to be an assassin, to be, the deadliest fighter alive, to go kill the man. And Shang did. And that is one of the things that I liked about the movie, because the way Shang said it, and they throw you for a loop. When he's telling his friend what happened to him, he was going and basically explaining the same thing that I just said, except for the part when he went to go face the killer. He said that he didn't kill him, and that he couldn't go through with it, and he just ran away. And I believe that Marvel was going that route. And I was going to be pissed because I'm like, yo, listen. I get, the no killing thing, I see how, you would probably want to be okay, he knew better. He didn't want to do that. He had a moral, killing may make him irredeemable. Don't do that. I kind of, in a sense, get where they were going to go with that if that was the truth. But it would have pissed me off because here's the thing. He was a trained assassin. His mother was killed. Are you telling me this kid that's been trained to kill all his life, that's hated his mother killer for so long, is just gonna, out of nowhere, get this moral sense and be like, oh no, I'm not gonna do... No, he's not gonna do that. He's gonna kill the man. Like, that's the realistic thing that he would do. Like, I believe he would do it. And I didn't want Marvel to sacrifice, that just to be like, oh no, he didn't kill him. He knew better. No, he didn't. And it paid off because they actually made him go through with that. That's why he left. He killed the man. He didn't like the feeling of it afterwards. He knew that it didn't really bring him the happiness or, I guess the closure that he thought it would. And that's why I left. That made a lot more sense. I'm glad Marvel did that. From the trailer, you can tell that Abomination is in there. Abomination's weird. He doesn't really talk. I'm not sure what's up with that. And the only scene that you see him in was that fight scene. Like, he was fighting Wong. Wong did the little, swirly thing and made Abomination punch himself, knock himself out. That was hilarious, by the way. But he doesn't say anything, and they kind of leave together, and it's not really explained what happened or how Abomination got there in the first place or what that's all about. No, not to say I didn't mind seeing Abomination. Like, I love seeing him. He's more comic book accurate now. But I really wish they kind of like got the actor to come back and say some words instead of him just not really saying much. It's kind of weird. Kind of felt like it was just there just to let you know Abomination is still in the MCU. I feel like that's the purpose of that scene. His friend Maddie, I believe it was, she was okay. She was comic relief for some of it. Some of her jokes didn't land though. And there was a point in the movie where I was like, there's really no reason for her to be here. Like, she's kind of like, she's not dragging the movie, but it feels like she's being dragged along for no discernible reason. Or like, she has no purpose here. And I feel like they're just going to make her do something at the end, or they're saving her for something at the end. And they did. And was it worth it? I don't think so. I really don't. What she does is basically she saves everyone by shooting an arrow at a soul-sucking dragon when she only learned how to shoot arrows like hours, maybe a day prior. Now I want you to think about that and how much sense that makes. Okay, there's this character. Comic relief, never really did anything with her life. And I get why they did that. I get where the story was going with it. But the way they did it just doesn't make sense. So anyway, there's this character. They've never done anything with their lives. They're holding on a job, That's not a bad thing. It doesn't really matter what the job is. They're doing something, They're doing something productive. So they get dragged along where you feel like they should have just been left. Like, you're like, why is this person here? They don't really serve a purpose. The point of them being here is, non-existent. And then when it comes down to the climactic battle at the end, somehow this person in 24 hours, probably even less than that, has been training to shoot like a gun or a bow and arrow or maybe use a sword. And they do this impossible thing and win the battle, kind of. Not completely, but, they're the reason that people are alive. And it's like, dude, stop. Stop. It just doesn't make sense. Because it feels so forced in there. Like, a day ago, this person couldn't even, probably aim to save her life. But 24 hours of practice and she just, bam, right on the money. No, it's not realistic. And I know I'm talking about realism in a Marvel movie, but come on. There is a certain point where it's like, okay, monsters and dragons, these can be explained by, how Marvel explains it. But then there's like a certain realism where it's like there is no way that person was able to do that, and that is the unrealism here. And I really wish they would stop doing that. It just makes no sense. I didn't really like Shang's sister. I mean, she was pretty badass in her own right, but she's the stereotypical, I never got to hang with the boys, I never got to do what the boys were doing, and that pissed me off, because I couldn't go be a boy, so I'm gonna go and do everything better than the boys and this and that. And it's like, dude, stop, man. Fuck off. Okay, there's always been this thing where it's like, just because the guys got to do something, just because the men got to do something, and women didn't, it's like, oh my god, they're so sexist. Bro, there are so many things women do that men cannot do. You don't hear us bitching about it because we don't care. It's not our place to be trying to do what women do. You know? Why is it such a big deal? What's the problem? It's like that's always been one of those things where it's like, bro, you don't need to do everything that we do. You don't need to be us to be our equals, dude. Like, come on. Stop trying to do every single thing someone else does, bro. What? That makes you a follower. You can't do your own thing. You're mad because we're doing something, so you gotta try to, what, say you can do it better all the time? Bro, come on. Stop it. Just stop. Stop trying to be other people and just be yourself. If you wouldn't do something that we're doing, okay, great. But that cannot be the basis for every single female in a movie. Look at Sarah Connor in The Terminator for, reference. She was a badass, bro. She worked out, she kicked ass. She was destroying Terminators. You didn't hear her saying, oh, I'm doing this because men were holding me back, because men wouldn't let me work out. They wouldn't teach me how to shoot a gun, so I learned how to shoot. No, she didn't do that. I mean, yeah, she probably taught herself. She worked out on her own, but it didn't say anything about men holding her back or men not letting her do this or do that. And that's all it really seems like these feminist politics are right now, is that, oh, men are douchebags. They won't let us do this, so we're going to do it better. Like, bro, stop. This is not equality. It's you trying to be better and stepping on men and just trying to be better, and that's not how it's supposed to go. That's not equality, dude. It's just you trying to be better because you keep holding grudges of what some douchebag probably didn't even happen in your damn life. But of course you're gonna, stand up for it, which is fine. Women equality, standing up for that is great. Women stepping on men, especially men that didn't even do anything to them, or just because someone has a set of rules, or in their culture they just do things a certain way and you're trying to destroy that just because you feel offended. But get the fuck out of here with that, man. And then the end credit scene didn't really make it better. I'm not talking about the first end credit scene. The first end credit scene was pretty cool. Gave us a little bit of, information about the rings, not as much as I would hope, but it served a purpose. The second one, on the other hand, was just, I saw it coming. This girl let a guy drop from a building and fall to his death. She didn't really have a redeeming story arc in the movie. You really thought she was going to destroy the Ten Rings organization? No. And then she just goes and turns the temple into or their house into a dance studio. What is all that crap that she has around? It's so stupid. The music they had, they wasted. They started pushing out, generic hip-hop music when they really had the chance to go for some kind of, Chinese, Eastern kind of music and, incorporate that into something. But instead they just went with the generic bull crap, hip-hop stuff. That's another thing that upset me. It's it was a wasted opportunity, But like I said, the visual effects were stunning. Sometimes they weren't so great, but the visual effects, for the most part, were really good. The fight scenes were amazing. That was some really good hand-to-hand combat and choreography that I saw in that movie. The story was pretty good for what they gave, but it just was not what it could have been. This story, Shang Chi could have been one of the best Marvel movies coming out if they had just tidied up, left the politics out of it, kind of focused more on the father-son story, kind of built something more, the difference between, the father and the mother. The mother could have been, a more prominent figure, so it kind of really would have focused on that duality of, okay, whereas my father's a little bit more on the tough love side, my mother has love, and she expresses that more than anything. And that's where her true power comes from, and that's where Shang-Chi's true power comes from. And they could have done that. This movie could have been so amazing, but it's just the way they presented it, the execution just was not as good as it could have been. And that's not me saying this is a horrible movie by any means. This is a pretty good movie, but I don't think I'll see it twice. And that's what marks a good movie from a great movie. If you go see that movie multiple times, you know it's amazing. Guardians of the Galaxy, I went to go see that at least 4 times when it came out. Iron Man, I saw that like at least maybe like 3 or 4 times. Thor, I saw that twice or 3 times. Movies like that are just, that's what separates good from great. You don't want to just go see a movie and then it's over and you're like, yeah, I don't think I want to see that again. It was a pretty good movie, but I don't want to see it again. No, you want it to be great. You want to be like, okay, I'm going back in the theater and I'm watching that. You know, that's what separates a good movie from a great movie. And Shang-Chi was good, but it wasn't great. And it could have been great. It could have been great, but there just was not a lot of thought put into it. I feel like they had a lot of stuff they kind of wanted to push into the story, and they only had like a short amount of time to do it, and they kind of put a little bit more of like world building into it instead of kind of focusing really hard on that family dynamic that would have made, in my opinion, probably like a lot more of a difference. But I still did enjoy the movie. I do recommend other people go see it. It's got a high score on Rotten Tomatoes, if that even matters anymore, because, man, Rotten Tomatoes rates some stuff sometimes, and it's like Rotten Tomatoes thinks one thing, and the audience thinks a completely different thing. But I think the audience score on this was pretty good, too. I think it was like the 80s or 90s, so it is a good movie, you know, but I'm just saying it could have been great. It didn't live up to its potential. Definitely not one of the favorite Marvel movies. So, that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the movie. If you saw it, please tell me what you thought down below. I was gonna review Snake Eyes. It's been a while. I don't know when it was released, but I'm pretty sure it's close to getting out of theater, so I don't know if I'm gonna do that. We'll see. But I will be reviewing, what's the next movie coming out? I don't know. I know Far From Home is in December, around Christmas. I think Let There Be Carnage is coming out sometime soon. I don't know. But anyway, whatever movies come out, I'll be there to see them. I will be here to review them. So, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for being here. And until next time, I will see you in the next video. Peace.
She calls me day and night. I'm sorry, girl, you just don't make me feel right. I never meant to make you cry, you were right. Just leave me be, I'm not gonna put up a fight.